Welcome to Cascais in Portugal. The 52 Super Series stays in the Atlantic for the third regatta of the season. Cascais has this reputation for big wins and big surf. Let's see if it delivers.
The whole week looks great and I'm just trying to enjoy it.
It's a good challenge because it's different than the other regattas this year. It's good, having fun.
We're going to do our very best, but there's some very good teams here.
Too tight.
Cascais does not disappoint. Such a contrast to the light, flicky breezes of Andalusia. Preveza arrive in Cascais on the heels of a big win, while by contrast to circuit champions Quantum Racing come back to Cascais, where they won the world title last year after their worst finish for years. Cascais, with its pretty streets, bars and restaurants, beaches and lively buzz, is very popular with the sailors, and after a big day in the water, coming ashore the smiles are obvious. Platoon, who have already marked themselves out as contenders this season, are missing their talismanic Olympic champion, America's Cup winner Jordi Calafat. Calafat's injured his fingers, and coach Morgan Reeser steps onto the boat.
This is the most challenging place we get to sail and the funnest, so really looking forward to it.
And Platoon are hoping their new secret weapon, a third pedestal winch at the back of the boat, will pay off in the Cascais surf and big wins.
We were thinking in our racing in windy conditions to have a third pedestal in the back of the boat. One of the reasons is first is to keep the weight of the crew in the back of the boat. So if we have a pedestal here, the big grinders of the boat can be on the back of the boat to do maneuvering. And the second reason is in some windy conditions you need more power to hoist sails, drop sails and do maneuvers, so you also can add 6 people to grind.
Day one and it's over 20 knots, just what was ordered by the fleet. Adrenaline pumping conditions, it seems like Preveza have carried forward their winning momentum. Azura actually lead early on, but they jive set at the top mark and let Preveza through to win. But race 2, the champions hit their straps, and Quantum Racing following up with an opening second place with a victory. Day 2, and at this time it's Azura who win the preferred right side of the upwind and extend the way to a victory, but Quantum Racing are second. Platoon proved their mettle in the second race with their victory, but Quantum Racing are super consistent. 3 second places in a first have already sailed their best sequence of the season. And on the third day, Quantum Racing extend the regatta lead. Halfway in the event, and the champions haven't finished the race below second place, but the day really did belong to Hasso Plattner. The uber-experienced German owner-driver missed out on his first win the previous day. One jibe from home, they dropped from first to fourth, but today they don't crack under pressure and deliver Hasso's first win on the circuit. Quantum Racing are well ahead on the overall standings though. The breezy conditions and big seas are seemingly relentless and are especially tough on bodies and on minds. None more so than for the bowmen, the rock stars up at the sharp end.
It's been hard, it's been windy and the boat's been bouncing around a lot and downwind, and we stick the bow in and the wave comes back, and it's been a little tough to hang on.
And in Cascais, ocean advocate Emily Penn comes to visit the circuit and gives us all food for thought, with her enthusiasm, her passion and her pragmatic ideas.
It's fantastic to see the Super Series taking such great initiatives on the plastics issue. I haven't seen a single plastic bottle since I've arrived, and I think there's so many more ideas on what more the athletes can be doing, the way that they can actually work on other areas of influence to be able to change this problem as well.
And it looks like business as usual on day 4, starting out in 30 knots as the fleet goes afloat, but there's a delay as the wind suddenly drops away. Only one race is sailed down on the inshore Easterly Arena. It's shifty, funky and a big contrast to the racing so far. Andy Soriano's Allegre register their first bullet here, but in 4th, Quantum Racing will carry a 5-point lead into the final day. And the middle of the regatta marks the halfway point through the 5 regatta season. At the top of the standings, Azura have a little bit of a lead, but 3 teams are all tied and Quantum Racing are back in contention. Well, if the winds were a little bit lighter on the penultimate day, the Saturday showdown sees a full 25 to 30 knots of northwesterly, and Brunelsec win the penultimate race. Quantum Racing are third, Azura second, and that means Quantum Racing lead into the final race by 4 points. And the regatta goes down to the final run. Azura stay offshore and make a big gain at the last minute. Platoon going head to head with Preveza. Platoon come through to win the final race. Azura just miss out by a matter of a couple of metres, but Azura second, Quantum Racing in fifth. So Quantum Racing win their first regatta title of the season. Azura missing out once again by a single point.
Tough conditions. I mean, it was windy at times today. I think we had some good 30-knot gusts and it was some unreal racing. Wow, this fleet's tight. The whole fleet sail these boats to an unbelievable level. We lost a few more points on Azura today, but overall we're pretty pleased. So small victory this week, but there's 2 more events with a big goal at the end of that.
So the final standings, Quantum Racing win on 23 points, Azura just a single point behind on 24, and Platoon third on 35 points. A great week in Cascais, winds blowing every day, big surf, and a great win for Quantum Racing, their first of the season. Now we go to Puerto Portals, back to high summer and sea breezes. Join us there.